Howdy, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together, we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
And in our opinion today, Brad, we're going to talk about one of the good treatments that you can do when you have neck and arm pain.
Right.
And so we're going to talk about two different forms of traction that you might try.
Exactly. There's a number of different forms. These are two forms that we've used and are familiar with, so that's why we're going to talk about them, so we can give you that information.
Now, we're not going to talk about whether or not you need traction. That needs to be determined by someone else.
Right.
These are just showing you two options, and one's kind of a little more expensive and one's less expensive.
Right.
And
they have their pros and cons, and we'll go over that in detail. So, and typically with this, if someone has neck pain, it might be pain in the shoulder, and oftentimes goes down into the arm to the fingers.
Yep. And by the way, speaking of fingers, I see somebody waving at us.
Oh, sure enough, we got 4 new people out there
today. 4
today.
new people. If you want to subscribe to our channel, this is a good time to do it. There's
Sure.
a subscribe button over here or under here. We provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, and pain-free, and we upload every day.
Excellent.
Let's get started. We want to start with this one, Brad?
Cervical traction. Okay, have a seat right here first,
So
Bob.
this is a unit that just fits over the door, right?
Right,
You can see
exactly.
that, Brad.
We have it mounted here because it's not
We don't have a door.
Yeah, exactly. We're doorless. But anyways, the concept, you'll see in the pictures, it mounts on the door, you close the door, and it's hanging alongside the door.
You probably want to make sure it's a door that nobody's going to be coming in while you're on the traction, because that probably wouldn't be good, would it?
Yeah, well, usually it bumps into the door and you're okay. It just
Right.
kind of makes some noise. There's one little thing. I don't know if I should do this, Bob. I'm going to. Before I'll do this, I'll go under someone like this and have them relax. Close your teeth gently together so you're not biting your tongue, and I lift straight up. And I just gentle pressure, and if that person responds as, oh, that feels good, then I'm going to do this traction. If they say it hurts, I'm not going to do it for sure.
It's a very good point, Brad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good indicator right there.
It's a
of
good
whether or
way
not
to
try.
screen.
Right.
Okay, why don't you move your chair back, Bob, because we need to get lined up underneath
Okay.
the unit. Okay. We're not going to go through all the details how to put it up. You can look at your instructions for that. Go ahead, Bob. This is one of the advantage of this. You do it in a seated position. So if you can't lay down and you want to do this in a seated position, that's what you're going to. This is a nice device for this. Other big advantage of this is the cost.
Yeah.
$25, you got something, and it works well.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a hassle to set this one up.
Yeah.
But once it's set up, it's actually very comfortable.
Right. Yes. Yeah. The person that's having it, that you feel good with it, and you have a good chair you can relax on. But it does take 2 people. You might be able to do it by yourself. However,
after you've set it up maybe a few times with another person, then I
Yeah.
think you might be able to do it.
right.
You know.
But it's always easier with 2 people.
Right.
So here we got the harness, so to speak, around Bob's chin and the back of his head, goes up through a pulley here, a
So
pulley
yeah,
here.
I'm getting pressure here and pressure here.
Right.
Kind of equal, pulling up.
It's pulling up there because we have a nice variable weighted water bag to adjust the weight of the traction going down. And the big question is how much weight do you put in here so the force applied to the neck is appropriate? I've got 4 pounds in there, which is pretty light. And that's a good place to start. And as long as Bob says, oh, that feels good, and if he says his arm and hand pain is feeling better, big plus. If he says, well, it feels all right, but nothing's happening, you might want to add some more weight.
And I think it's good, Brad, to actually, we were just talking about this, a chair with arms is nice, or maybe putting the arm on a pillow.
Sure,
The
yep.
one that's giving you pain, so that you're not putting stress on that.
Yep.
So.
Exactly. Now, what I do is I just take some wristbands or ankle weights, because it's a lot easier to put weight on than trying to put water in this bag. Because otherwise you got to take it off, go to the sink,
Yeah,
put more in.
so to determine the initial weight.
Exactly.
Right, you might use weights, so you can then, later on, you can put the amount of weight.
Right.
You want to
So I'm going to put 1.5 pounds on there now. Bob, how does that feel? Could we use a little more, or does that feel like it's doing the job?
Well, it's up to you, Brad. If you want to do a little more, you could try a little more.
Okay, so it feels good yet? There's no
Yeah, it
pain?
feels good.
Okay, anything happen in the arm? Fingers feeling better?
Yep, the fingers are feeling better. I still feel a little bit right in here.
Okay, I'm going to add some weight. There we go. It just went down. I could actually feel the rope tighten up more. Bob, how does that feel?
And now it seems like that's even disappearing now.
Okay. Now, I'm going to keep doing that, adding weight, but you're going to be conservative the first time. I've already got positive things going on. I'm not going to put any more weight on, especially the first time. I'm going to hit my timer, and we're going to go for 5 minutes maximum on the first time. That's the way I do it. We take it off, and then we see how he responds to it over the next 24 hours to make sure something funny doesn't happen. It might feel good now, but later tonight it flares up and we have a problem. Usually that doesn't happen. I've
Yeah,
never had it happen.
It really shouldn't happen. There's no reason it should.
Right.
I mean, if it feels good while you're doing it, there's no reason it should hurt later.
Right. I'm conservative. That's the way I do it. Do it the way you want. But I think then the next time they come in, then I get more aggressive. I'll put more weight on. I'll go from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. And at that point, we'll see how they respond over the next day. And then I'll go up to 15 pounds. And usually I've never gone over 15 pounds. If you're getting good results, I don't see any reason to keep adding weight.
And Brad, we had the discussion whether or not to face away or face towards. You tend to like to face away to start off with.
Right.
I agree with you. I think to have the neck maybe really kind of going straight up and down instead of flexion, I think is a good way to start.
Sure.
But you've said a lot of times if it doesn't work this way, you might try the other way.
Yep. Turn the
facing.
person around, facing the door, and then see what the response is. The nice thing about this is this way I like to treat is I let the symptoms be my guide. If we get improvement, centralization, the arm pain moving up towards the shoulder pain going to the neck, that's a positive result. Things are going good. One thing's for sure is if you put weight on here and the person starts feeling uncomfortable, you're done.
Yeah.
You just take it off and it's not
It's
an
an
option.
experiment, really, is what we're doing. We're trying to figure out which one's going to work, and we don't know. Sometimes we're surprised.
There's the theory about distraction of the neck, taking the pressure off the nerve in the neck, therefore releasing the pain and symptoms in the arm, and then there's what really happens. And you have to go by what really happens. So I might go, if they're sitting like this and we don't have any success or it hurts, I might turn the person around right away, facing the door, and see it happens that direction. It may get better, it may not, but you go by how the person responds.
And how many times a day, Brad? I would say they could do this a couple times a day if it helps, right?
If they've got good response, yeah, once in the morning, once in the evening, or whenever it fits your schedule. I don't know if I'd do it more than that.
I wouldn't start off that way.
No.
I would start again with the one time. But
Exactly. So again, now to take this unit off, you can take it off by yourself, not too hard.
well, one thing you could just kind of grab on, couldn't you?
Yep, you can go on there, but you got to get the Velcro things off
And
here
then I
and
can
here.
grab here.
Yep, so you get it off your neck. There you go. Off of the shoulder, watch the glasses, and let go, Bob. You're clear.
I'm clear?
Yep, let go. Don't worry about it, Bob. The worst that can happen is nothing. Okay, good. Now the other option is traction laying down.
So that's about 25 bucks.
Yep, and this one here is a Chattanooga device. There's other manufacturers, and they're all about the same. They probably come from the same factory, different name. I don't know about that, but all right. Now it should lay down, Bob. If this doesn't work, you don't have it available, or the person will respond much better laying down, the first thing I do is I have the person lay down like this, and I put my fingers like this right under the occipital bones, right behind the ears. You can feel them, and have the person really relax, and I just start pulling towards me. Do you feel that pull, Bob? Mm-hmm. Okay, does that make your neck and arm and shoulder feel better?
Yeah, it's better. It's not gone, but it's better.
Okay, if that feels good, I may even do just a little bit more. Teeth together gently, Bob, so you're not biting your tongue. And I'm going to pull gently with my hands and just my fingers, not my arms. And I'll pull a little bit harder. Mm-hmm. And if the response is positive, I'm thinking, okay, let's get the Saunders cervical traction device out. That's the one we've been using. They're made very well, so let's get right to it. All right, can you sit up, Bob? So you'll see how this fits in. It's actuated with a pneumatic pump, so we got an air cylinder in there.
See how it's spreading apart here?
There we go. And a little
that would add 6 inches to my height.
Yeah, 6.5 foot's not tall enough. We're going to get them to 7 today. Hang on,
We
Bob.
should be putting you on here.
Yeah. I don't know. Actually, this is a comfortable device. So it's got a head strap for your forearm.
You're not ready for me yet.
There's two knobs here. They're connected. One on this side, one on this side.
So they spread this apart or put it together, right?
Right. You can just rotate them. Both knobs are literally connected. They're on the same shaft, and that just spreads it. So we've already had this adjusted for Bob. Okay. Oops. Okay. So we have it adjusted for Bob.
Yeah, and I even turn it a little bit like this because this feels more comfortable to me.
The pads rotate, so get it comfortable. We're going to get this not over the eyes, but over the forehead. Okay, depending on the person's shape of the forehead, you may have to get it closer to the eyes so it stays. It doesn't hold a lot of force, but it helps. Okay, on here you're going to see it says release, pump, and hold. We go to the pump mode. You just click it easy. Like myself, usually I got to get my glasses on so I can read it, but I've worked with this enough, I know where it is. Okay, now you start pumping. Now I don't have to do this. Bob could pump. I'm going to do it just for demonstration. And I usually don't go more than 20 pounds on the first time, but at the same time, I'm saying, Bob, you have tingling symptoms in your shoulder, down to your fingers. When I'm doing this, if it feels better, let me know. If any pain or things get worse, I need to know that as well.
And it is starting to improve now.
Things are improving, so I'm going to add some more pressure. How does it feel on your head?
I would go any further.
Right there is good?
Yeah.
Okay, so right there I'm at 17 pounds. I turn my timer on my phone, and then I write down on my notes 17 pounds, and I start timing for 5 minutes. And then I start talking to Bob, say, how are you feeling? We'll talk about the weather a little bit. A couple minutes later, how are things going?
Good.
And sometimes when I've had this happen, it's like at first it feels good, but 3 minutes later, all of a sudden, the numbness in their hands and fingers starts getting worse. Then immediately I turn it off and we're done. Or I'll make some adjustments and see if it can. On this, you can adjust. You okay, Bob?
Yep.
I just raised the amount of flexion on his neck. On this unit, there's 3 different levels. There's this one, highest, the middle one.
That actually did feel better.
The highest one?
Yeah, it did.
Okay. It's easiest to adjust when you're not on the unit.
Yeah, I imagine.
There we go.
Yeah,
That's how you can play with this. And if the symptoms improve with the head up and everything feels better, there you go. And
It fits in there better.
feels better on the
Yeah,
head. Okay,
yeah.
great.
Feels that way. It
although
cradles my head better.
you're going to pay, that's really not important if the hand and the arm pain
Right.
gets better and this doesn't feel good. Well, you respect what's going on
Yeah,
with the symptoms.
if your neck pain gets better and this gets worse, that's terrible. That's
Right.
the worst thing you want to see.
That's a way to, that's a
Yeah,
stop.
this has all got to go out of here,
Right.
up into here.
Right.
So,
Okay, so when 5 minutes is up, if things are going good, I guess if things are going really good and his hand feels good and the pain is already up to his neck and the shoulder pain and numbness is gone, maybe I'll go longer, but I'm still going to be...
I tend to be very conservative
Yeah.
with these two, Brad.
And then you let it off, and on this one, I like to let the pressure off and then have the person sit up, stand up, and see how the change in position makes the person feel. I've had people get up from this and stand up and say, oh, they feel lightheaded.
Right.
And that can be normal when you put this kind of stress on the body, but it should go away within 30 seconds and they should feel fine.
Right. So a lot easier to use, but the disadvantage is the cost, Brad.
Right.
So,
You know, online, the cheapest I've seen is right around $300. And the same unit's amazing, up to $450.
Wow.
Do some shopping around, do what you can, but you can use it by yourself. It is well built. I just worked with someone, he was a guy, very healthy, 81-year-old, and he was taking a lot of opioids for the last 15 years.
Wow.
So we start using this, and it made him feel better, but only for about a day. So he decided to buy one, and his goal is to cut down his pain medication by using this.
To me,
on
that's
it.
the perfect instance of a device like this,
Right,
when you can start getting away off the pain medication.
Right. As far as the next time you do it, you can go up to 20, 30 pounds. You can look in the instructions. I've never gone over 25 pounds. Not that I wouldn't, but I like to be conservative. You're making progress. Why go with more
This
pressure?
is a great one to start with a therapist. you
Right,
know, I
it
mean,
is.
yeah.
It really is, and then you can use this for a review at home.
Right.
So once again, Bob, we're getting close to that. We're working on the head, the neck, the shoulders, but what's one thing we haven't been able to cure yet?
We can fix just about anything except for,
That broken heart.
I thought you were going to say broken brain.
Oh yeah, well,
Discussion up here.
no, we don't do anything from the neck up.
Obviously not. Thanks for watching.